The Cavaliers have finally made a free agent signing, and it just may be sneaky good and will have a huge effect on their upcoming season. JT Thor will be joining the Cleveland Cavaliers on a two-way contract. We'll get into that report and more with that signing coming up here in a second. Hey everybody, welcome to Cavs Digest. Billy BB back with you. Very excited to report a Cavaliers signing and reporting everything going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. When you subscribe to Cavs Digest, that'll come right to you. You'll stay up to date with everything happening, whether it be free agent rumors, free agent signings, Team USA stuff, contract extensions, coach hirings, firings, whatever is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We keep you up to date here on Cavs Digest. So thank you for joining us today to talk about a really fun subject with the Cavaliers, and that is their signing of big man JT Thor, who just got done playing for the South Sudan in the Olympics and will now join the Cleveland Cavaliers on a two-way contract. This is big for the Cavs for multiple reasons, and this is a sneaky good signing, I believe, and it kind of shows what they believe in Thor for what they've seen from him, both in his time with Charlotte and against the Cavaliers. It's going to be an interesting way of showing that they're going to get some big man help for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen that they may need. Let's start with his stats from last season when you can break down Thor. Just a couple of points per game, couple of rebounds per game. Not getting a ton of minutes, getting that 7 or 8 minutes a game. However, that's what you predict he'll get with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's why it makes so much sense, and you really feel like it's an okay fit because is he raw? Sure. But are the Cavaliers going to have him on the floor a bunch? No. Probably going to have him in those Tristan Thompson minutes, maybe more if someone were to get hurt, such as Jared Allen or Evan Mobley, as they did last season. Allen hurt to start the year. Mobley hurt for a good chunk of the year. And then, of course, they're always looking for bodies to give those guys a break in the playoffs and to get an advantage in the playoffs. So Thor, 6'10", just 21 years old. We'll see how this fit goes with the Cavs. Charlotte, a very young team, so we can start there. Charlotte, a young team, plenty of minutes for Thor, and it's clear he didn't quite show out with the Charlotte Hornets. Interesting to kind of understand why and see why with him. The Cavs can't give him the minutes and can't give him as much as he'd probably want or need to turn into a really good player in the NBA. It was Shams reporting it first. It was a 2021 second round pick of the Charlotte Hornets. In the Olympics for the South Sudan, averaging 7 and 5. So that's where you'd like him for the Cavaliers. That's what you want him doing for the Cavs, is backing up Evan Mobley, backing up Jared Allen, snagging a couple rebounds, a couple lob dunks. Those are mainly a lot of his highlights. And a couple chase down blocks. Those are his fun highlights. If you look him up on YouTube, is him really getting after it. He's a rim runner. He's a young, tall guy with decent speed. So, that rim running classification is going to fit him perfectly, and Cleveland could use it. They could use that help off the bench, that big, lengthy guy on offense and defense to kind of step in and make a difference. So, the minutes, you're probably going to see 7 or 8. Your goal you'd love to see a 5 or 6 points per game, 4 rebounds, a block or 2 when he's on the floor. And, hey, prove Jared Allen can have a little more time off. Evan Mobley can have a little more time off. But with a two-way contract, there's a good chance that you'll see him up and down in the G League, as the Cavs have done with a couple big men in the past. Now, talking about those big men, they've searched for options of a backup for years now. Multiple years. Guys like Robin Lopez, I almost called him Roflo, his old nickname, and a couple other names that were similar in size and age. Then they flipped to a Lopez who's older and doesn't have that agility but has that experience. So now you're hoping they kind of meet in the middle. He's got the size, he's got the age, he's got the agility, and you're hoping with a little bit of experience in Charlotte, he can bring it to the Cavaliers. Now, what struck the Cavs to go out and get JT Thor of all people with, a lot of options out there for backup big men, young, talented big men on the market? Perhaps the 20-10-4 he dropped on the Cavs in their final game before the playoffs. Yes, that final matchup, that famous matchup against the Charlotte Hornets that pitted the Cavs against the Orlando Magic. Thor, 20-10-4 in that one, running all around the floor, blocking, catching lob dunks, really just doing damage on the Cavs, who, again, as I've said, and a reason this signing is so hopeful and sneaky good for me, not because of just the player, but the position. Cavs have not had great backup centers, backup big men. They haven't been able to play him much, right? There's even a chance you can play him instead of a George Niang just to do something different on the floor for Evan Mobley. Play him with Evan Mobley, play him with Jared Allen, mix it up. That's why this means so much to me personally, and I'm so excited about it because the Cavs haven't had that backup big men, and I've had discussions with people online and in chats talking about it, and a lot of the pushback is, oh well, Mobley just jumps in for Allen and they switch and then they play together and a little bit of Niang. They need a true backup center. They need a true backup big man stretch four, and I think this guy's right in the middle. I don't think Thor can shoot. There's no signs that that's a big thing for him of shooting on the outside. I'm sure he can take one here or there, some light jumpers, but you got to predict he'll be a rim runner, a shot blocker, backup center, and look, 6 or 7 minutes a game, and if he proves himself 9 or 10, I imagine there'd be some G League stints here or there, but we'll see. It's really just refreshing for the Cavs to make a free agent signing, right? They haven't this year. Everything's been based about contract extensions and their guys. So there's been Luke Travers and company and other things going on with them, so they elect to go with JT Thor. One other note I want to make before we end this video is, of course, that the Cavaliers elect not to go with Gorshon Yabusele. They elect to go with JT Thor, so they clearly wanted to go more of a tall, big stretch 5 instead of a ball-handling stretch 4, smaller 4, maybe even a 3 in Yabusele, who the 76ers went at hard and ended up picking up. And the 76ers, to note, continue to be a huge player in the East that the Cavs and other teams are going to have to watch. But as for JT Thor, get down into the comments. What do you think of the big man? What do you think of the Cavaliers and what they're going to get out of JT Thor? Is this going to be a full season with the big leagues and a full season with the Cavs? Are we going to see him with the Charge? Is it everything you hope if he plays 7 minutes a game with 4 points and 2 rebounds like I predicted? Drop down in the comments. Let us know, and be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.